Hello and welcome to Castanet Penticton's Mayor's Minute. I'm Colin Dacre, joined here by the Mayor, Andrew Jacobite.
Hello.
So this week, the South Okanagan Performing Arts Center Society was back in front of Council, asking for the city to set aside a plot of land downtown. Now, this is a project that's been in the works for many, many years, and a lot of city councillors kind of voiced a little bit of weariness to it. In the end, the city decided to set that land aside, but is this really the last shot, the last kick at the can for SOPAC?
Yeah, I use that phrase, the last kick at the can, and you know, there's discussions in the late 90s, early 2000s. It started getting some momentum, and the South Okanagan Event Center came, and then after that, the recession started, and sort of everything's been sort of put on the back burner, and really what the society, and they've added the word creative in their title as well. What the society's asked for is give us, you know, a year and a half to conduct a symposium where we can really go out and figure out what's going to be the best fit for the community, the viability, the feasibility of a performing arts and creative and cultural center, the sustainability of it, the operational or governance around it, and what's going to be the best fit and best practice to have in our community. And you know, when it was originally contemplated, it was a massive project, $30 million, and you know, I think the symposium will really help fine-tune the viability of that, and what was maybe envisioned years ago. Maybe that's changed, or maybe they can get an institution to come on board, like an art school, or where now you have educational opportunities during the week, which is speaks to the sustainability of it and it being viable, and then you have your performances in the evenings and weekends, and that might be a model, and that's sort of what that symposium will look at, and what is being built now versus the traditional way of theater, and maybe there is an opportunity for something to happen in Penticton. And I think from council, we recognize the importance and value of having arts and culture, in particular downtown. So we're excited about that opportunity. But again, it's been we've put that old Nanaimo Hall Avenue, or Nanaimo Hall piece of property sort of earmarked for a Performing Arts Center for years, and had hoped the society would create a business plan or be further along on their path to considering whether that's a viable option or not. But we are where we are, and we've sort of committed to that 18-month window for them to really put their ducks in a row and get some community interest and other partners to come on board to ensure that it's going to be the viable fit, or if it's going to be a viable fit or not.
So far, have you seen the appetite, community support for this thing to get off the ground?
You know, we do have a vibrant arts community, and you know, we have lots of concerts and lots of things happening. There's some limitations from some people's perspective with Cleveland Theatre, and so, you know, certainly I think that's what that symposium looks at: what we have, what we could have, what we would need to create that environment to facilitate that. And I think this is now the time where people who are keenly interested in seeing something like that happen, that they rally behind not just the symposium, but events that happen at the Cleveland Theatre, or at the Event Center, at some of our various theatres, that they really have a strong showing. So there's a demonstration of support, you know, because not just monetarily up front to build something. The bigger question is how does it sustain itself, and how does it get funded on an annual basis? So those are all the things that will get sorted out in the next year, and we definitely deciding whether we move forward with this, or it's been fully vetted and investigated and we don't move forward with it.
I guess if it doesn't happen, that's a pretty high-profile piece of property right downtown. I guess it would just end up going to the public for some sort of discussion on what we want to see there?
Yeah, right now we're saying, you know what, that might be a great spot downtown for an arts and cultural component, and 18 months from now, if that's proven to be not viable or not realistic, then we would go out to the public and say, here's a prime piece of spot downtown, and what should we do with it? And I'm sure there'll be plenty of interest, because there's lots of development happening around the downtown core and the city. So, and waiting 18 months is probably a good thing too, because then we can see what's still missing. We still have some property that we could potentially consider.
All right, thank you. That was this week's Castanet-Penticton Mayor's Minute. If you have a question you'd like to submit to the mayor, you can send it to letters@castanet.net. Until next time.
Big on business? Click the Okanagan Edge widget on the main page. The Okanagan Edge, positively business.